What's happening, my friends? Welcome to the exam breakdown. My name is D. Kumar. It is a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I apologize about being a few minutes tardy. Had a crazy, awesome weekend. Had a crazy last night. Super dear friend that I've known for about 30 years was in town. Lives in Hawaii, and big mentor of mine, very successful real estate professional, very successful person. So cool that you're just in town. And he's like, hey, man, I'd like to spend the night. Is that cool? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. All right. So we hosted. It was great. He got to meet my kids and hang out with them. He had never met my daughter. And it was so cool. I had so much fun. I was like a giddy little kid. We were up late last night chatting about stuff. A lot of philosophy, a lot of stuff. It's always good. I don't know if you feel the same way, but to be able to connect with people, you can meet but a few of those people in your life that have this deeper meaning. They understand you. You can really communicate, and there's a wonderful exchange when you're with these people. And I hope you experience that. It is one of the coolest things. It is so nice to be able to do that. We go from day to day to day, and there's lots of like surface level stuff, but it's rare when you find people in your life that you come across that have a bigger meaning to everything. And they understand, and they can sit with you, and you can talk, and you can, the exchange was just great. So I had a spectacular time, but this morning he had to bail at the same time that it was like mission control. It was nuts. It was crazy. It was like the kids leaving for school, getting him ready. It was like having 4 kids. It was awesome, but very grateful for that. Anyway, that's where I was a few minutes late, running behind on some stuff, forgot about stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I am here today. And today, what we're going to do in the exam breakdown, and typically on Mondays, we handle the real estate professionals, my friends that are looking at their real estate salespersons, real estate brokers, licensing in any state, basically anywhere. We just had somebody, shout out to my boy Carlos, I believe in York, Pennsylvania, that just passed. Congratulations, man. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. Now looking forward to this next leg of the journey, and I can't wait to hear your successes. So congratulations, and thanks for tuning in. All right, so listen, today we're on the eve or the precipice of me releasing a pretty substantial new masterclass. And in this masterclass, it's for high-level producers, and the idea here is it's sort of the old Pareto rule, the 80-20 rule. And what we've done with this particular program, we put a ton of work into it. And this is 25 years of me teaching and coaching and lots of feedback and everything else. We've come up with that 20% in essence. Now, what do you need to get through this examination? In other words, I'm giving you creative license to virtually ignore a tremendous amount of the nonsense in these books, in these materials, whatever you're watching, and saying, dude, focus here on this. It's going to be like every quiz is banging, there's 2 full-blown final exams. They're like 25 battle-tested questions that we've honed over the years. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that any of you are all going to pass. Number one, I never do. I never have in almost 30 years as an educator. I've helped people, coach people through examination after examination. I helped one guy through his USMLEs for medical school. So I'm good at being able to take really weird information and like figure out a way it goes into my silly brain, and I'm able to regurgitate it in a way that people can capture. They get it. If anything, that's probably my superpower. That and the fact that I'm fueled by the passion to want to make sure that people pass. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I want to help. I have no clue, but I'm going to keep doing it because it feels good. All right, so here is the deal. I'm not going to keep this one up for long. I'm going over 5 questions that we have in our new masterclass. It's awesome. Now, Remember, in the masterclass, when we do launch it, if you're interested, leave that in the comments below. It's not like this compendium of everything real estate. My goal was never to do that. Neither was Kate's. It's basically saying we don't cover everything on the examination, but I can tell you that we've compiled the biggest high impact targets that you need so you can pass in less time. Listen to this. The average student studying for this exam is putting in about 80 to 100 hours of information. And so what we decided to do is come up with something utilizing the way I like to teach and utilizing the sort of the program and parameters. And then the other thing too is we stripped it away. We're giving you access to a community that's pretty exclusive. And so I'm super excited about it. Now, this is for sort of these future top producers. This is for the folks that are looking to do it. This won't be a cheap masterclass. It's a masterclass that is really, really, really sort of made to take everything and like boil it down to 6 hours or so, right? So like that's pretty time compressed, and sort of that's the logic. So you follow this thing, follow the yellow brick road basically, and you're going to be good to go. I'm excited about it. If you're interested in something like this and you are having a hard time getting to it and you know you're a top producer, or somebody is thinking about sponsoring you and they know you're a top producer, you're having trouble with this, you are stuck here, then I would leave that in the comments. We'll figure out a way to get in touch, whether we DM email addresses, or you can just send us an email at support@relicencepro.com, RELICENSEPRO.com. support@relicencepro.com, and just send us your contact information. We'll add you to a list for pre-launch, and we're about to do a pre-launch sequence at the end of the week. So we're looking forward to it. We know it's going to do well. It's going to serve folks exceptionally well. Now, that being said, our YouTube channel is crushing examinations all over the United States, and we couldn't be more proud. We are so proud of all of you. So here's what's the what. What's happening is we are beginning to cause a movement of people that are able to get through this. And I am so excited. Kate, my partner, is so excited about this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you some of these high impact questions today as a thank you and as a little bit of a teaser to make sure that you like them. And if they work well, then we're going to go for them. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this video up, quite honestly. I'd rather just let my masterclass speak for itself. But without further ado, let me jump into these questions. Give me a second. Let me make sure we got them. All right, so hang tight. We'll pop them up in a minute and we'll get right into them. Oh, Katie's just like texting me. It's like, hold on. She's like, hey, hang on, I'm reading this. Say good luck to Bigman's 3Z. She's taking the exam in 20 minutes. Hey, shout out. All right, listen, deep breaths. You got this. Couldn't be more proud, regardless of the outcome, but you keep working. Read those answers, mark the things you don't know, all right? Come back to them, read answers very carefully. Good luck. We're sending you all of our luck right now. You got it. All right, good luck. And please reach back out to us with the results. We would love to hear. All right, so here we go. I'm just making sure everything is streaming properly. All right, so here we go. Question number 1. In tenancy in common, how do multiple owners hold ownership shares? Letter A, equally with automatic transfer to surviving co-owners. Letter B, independently with distinct ownership shares. Letter C, jointly with equal authority over the property. Letter D, with a right of survivorship. The question again is, in a tenancy in common, how do multiple owners hold ownership shares? And the answer? Letter B, independently with distinct ownership shares. Now, it is no secret at all, that I am a big believer in learning your co-ownerships. This is stuff that's going to be on examinations. Now, listen, I don't have a copy of all of your examinations. I just have a crazy good targeting system that has been honed over doing this for like 30 years, right? So like when you make something a part of your DNA and you get really good at it, one of the things that you should strive to do is be able to explain it really well. And so it's been a quest for 3 decades to be able to explain this stuff really well, even though nobody wants to talk to me about real estate. When we sit down, when I meet people, they're like, I don't want to talk about this stuff. But the reality is it's made fortunes. It's helped us financially like I couldn't tell you. So, you want to know this stuff. All right. So listen, outside of the exam, co-ownership, super important. Tenancy in common is a super important one. And what's unique about it in the tenancy in common is that the right of survivorship does not exist. So independently ownership, you'll have a deed in your name with your percentage ownership interest. You can do as you wish with that. And then when you pass, it just goes to your estate. So the right of survivorship is a bit counterintuitive. It means that if you were to pass, then the surviving co-owners get your interest. It doesn't go to your estate. So the right of survivorship means that the surviving co-owners get the ownership interest, not your estate. So in a tenancy in common, we hold multiple owners, hold ownership shares independently with distinct ownership shares. As a matter of fact, a tenancy in common is the only one where you can have a disproportionate interest of ownership. Question number 2. What term describes the act of a property owner formally granting or giving their private land to a government entity or municipality for a specific purpose? Letter A, eminent domain. Letter B, dedication. Letter C, donation. Letter D, annexation. The question is, what term describes the act of a property owner formally granting or giving their private land to a government entity or municipality for a specific public purpose? And the answer? Letter B, dedication. Now, so the interesting question, and it's framed really nice, is it's talking about something that could lead people into thinking eminent domain, right? So we're talking about public purpose, we're talking about government entity, we're talking about private land. So it's got all of the subliminal undertones of eminent domain. And so if you were not aware of what a dedication is, then eminent domain would have been a very popular wrong answer. Now, annexation is not that. And donation, many people might say, well, I don't know. Donation is going to be the lowest probable answer. Annexation, dedication, eminent domain are the top 3. Eminent domain was the red herring, and the answer to this is dedication. Question number 3. An investor purchases 2 adjacent properties, one for $150,000 and one for $200,000. The value of the larger combined lot is now $400,000. This increase in value is an example of what? Letter A, annexation. Letter B, appreciation. Letter C, assemblage. Letter D, plottage. I'm going to give you a second to take a sip of my matcha. An investor purchases 2 adjacent properties, one for $150,000 and one for $200,000. The value of the larger combined lot is now $400,000. This increase in value is an example of, and the answer, letter D, plottage. So here's a good one. These are economic principles of value. In other words, what increases value or contributes to an increase in the value, right? All right. I'm just checking my skin. Sometimes with this light, man, me and this light have a beef. One day I look like all kinds of pasty white. And then on another day, I'm like, oh, that's a nice like brown hue. I don't know. Anyway, so an investor purchases 2 adjacent properties, one for $150K and one for $200. Well, you combine those two, and we have a $350,000, combination value / cost, right? Really cost not so much value. There could be a direct correlation to cost and value, and there might be a divergence between those two numbers, right? So the value of the larger combined lot is now 400 grand. So there's a profit realized through successfully assembling those two parcels. So there's two economic principles of value that go hand in hand, and that is assemblage and the word plottage. Let me show you here. Assemblage is assembling two parcels of land, right? So that's assembling. What happened right there? Whoa, that's crazy. Assemblage is combining two parcels of land. This thing like malfunctioned. And plottage is the profits realized through successful assemblage. So what they're saying here is, hey, this increase in value, it increased because it should be $350,000, but it increased by $50,000, and now the value is $400,000. What this increase in value is an example of what? And that is plottage. Plottage is, think of P for plottage, P for profits, and plottage is the profits realized through successful assemblage. So when you combine two lots together and you get a greater value because, let's say, for example, it's more developable or something like that, then we call that plottage. And this is a great question. Again, it throws in other words. It throws in different letters. It's like, hey, these three words, all of which are legit real estate phrases, start with the letter A. So they do this to trip you up. Think of it like this. It's like, whoa, I'm going to give this person three A words, and they're all actual vocab phrases. And I want to see if they understand the word assemblage. And then I also want to trip them up and think about the word plottage, because this is really an example of plottage, not assemblage. There was assemblage taking place in this question, and then at the end, there was an increase in value, and that was the trick. So many people that are reading this might go, you know what? This is assemblage, if they remember their, valuation chapters. Great question. And let's go to the next one. All right, question number 4. VJ is purchasing a home for $550,000 and is making a total down payment of 20%. He already has paid $10,000 in deposit. How much more does he need to bring to the closing? Letter A, $90,000. Letter B, $100,000. Letter C, $110,000. Letter D, $120,000. So VJ is purchasing a home for $550,000 and is making a total down payment of 20%. He already has paid a $10,000 deposit. How much more does he need to bring to closing? This is a classic, how much do we need to bring to closing style question. Super duper duper high probability. And the answer is $100,000, letter B. So my boy VJ's got to bring in an extra $100,000 to bring to closing. He's already made a deposit of $10,000. For those that need a little bit help looking at the math, let's just take a look. Here's just a quick breakdown of it. So again, he's purchasing a home for $550,000 and is making a total down payment of 20%. The step number 1 is we calculate the total down payment. Well, what is this? What's 20% of $550,000? 20% is 0.20 times the 550 gives the total 20% down payment of $110,000. Now look what they do. Classic to these test folks is they're going to give you this answer. So here it is right there. It's $110,000. And so what people do is they get tripped up. They're like, oh man, I'm confused. Maybe that's the answer. They forgot that they already put down a $10,000 deposit. So whatever the answer is going to be short $10,000. So that brings us to step number 2. Subtract the deposit already paid. So in this case, the total 20% down payment is $110,000. We're going to subtract the $10,000 already paid deposit. That gives us $100,000. And so my boy VJ needs to bring $100,000 to closing. Classic. This is a classic on exams. Classic. So that's why it's in there. And I just wanted to give that. So it's a nice understanding of something simple that you're going to be able to nail. All right, and then the final question. When considering Federal Housing Administration, FHA, and Veterans Administration, VA loans, the following statement is most accurate. Letter A, FHA insured loans and VA guarantees loans. Letter B, FHA guarantees loans and the VA insures loans. Letter C, both FHA and VA guarantee loans. Letter D, FHA and VA both insure and guarantee loans. So the question is, when considering Federal Housing Administration, the FHA, and Veterans Administration, the VA loans, the following statement is most accurate. And the answer is letter A. So the FHA insures loans and the VA guarantees loans. That is the most accurate statement. And so you want to know that the FHA is basically a large insurance company, and it's a public sector insurance company that's basically guaranteeing banks against default. Therefore, the banks can take on more risk because an FHA loan, the government will come back in and guarantee the lender 100% against default. And the VA doesn't insure loans, but there is a guarantee on the loan. A percentage of the loan is guaranteed. So 25% of the loan is guaranteed through the VA. And so therefore, if the lender has to foreclose, unfortunately, on the vet because of default, well, then the lender is at a safer loan to value ratio, which would make foreclosure a little bit more easy during the process. But again, the VA is a guarantee and the FHA insures. And I'll just put that up really quickly so you can take a peek. And there you go. All right. There were 5 of those questions. And again, these are questions that are sick, in my opinion, very, very highly accurate. They do a really fantastic job. If I don't say so myself, and give some props to Kate, between the two of us, my God, we've put in so many years of doing this. We see patterns, we see trends, we see different materials that are out there. And so from teaching all these years and the tens of thousands of folks that I've gotten the privilege to teach, and all of the folks that we've helped pass, even hundreds just in the past couple of months just on our YouTube channel, which is killer, we get a really keen sense of sort of what's happening. And luckily, we're able to validate that because people are passing on YouTube. I mean, YouTube, right? So that's awesome. Very, very cool. Now, with that in mind, I hope the time we spent together yields you some success. Good luck with your studies and good luck on your tests. Keep working at it. Keep studying hard. Study strong. Stay in there. Keep focusing on stuff and concentrate. If there's anything we can do to help in furtherance of what we're doing, leave it in the comments. If y'all haven't subscribed to the channel and you're new to it, welcome, 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 welcome. All are welcome, by the way, and you please consider subscribing to our channel. If you have, thank you. Wow, it is such a privilege and honor. We just hit 10,000 subscribers in record time. We couldn't be more excited, and we are jumping through lots of awesome, awesome things. Things are popping all over the place, and we look forward to making sure that those things serve you, our community. I will see you on Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, we do the NMLS coaching for our mortgage licensing folks, helping you think about different topics in different ways to help you understand potential test concepts that we pull off of the outlines. And we're kind of trying to figuring out, and it's my unique spin on understanding where might a test writer want to write test questions, as we tend to write a lot ourselves, right? So we understand this business quite well. Good luck with all of this, and let us know how you're doing. We love hearing the comments. We will see you on Wednesday. Thank you once again for helping us get to 10,000 subscribers. Man, we appreciate it, and we will see you very soon.